welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Wonton Taco Adventure, and my name is Jimmy. So on today's episode, I'm going to be doing a little open box tutorial on how to install this product that was just recently sent out to me from Auxbeam. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Auxbeam for, choosing my channel to collaborate with. So they sent me this for free, guys. For free. So I'm super stoked, and for them to want to choose a small channel like mine just to get the words out, man, I can't be any more thankful for that. Pardon the interruption here. So I'm coming from the future here. As you can see, the switch panel is already installed. And the reason for this is that I've been working with Auxbeam, and basically I just put in a request that if I'm going to make this video, then for them to give me something to give my viewers. So thankfully, I was able to get that 15% off for all you guys. So if you choose to buy this 2-switch panel, then that will give you 15% off. So the code is WTA1, WTA1. So use that at your checkout, and they'll give you 15% off, guys. All right, back to the video. So a little quick history of the Auxbeam product. I already have this product on my Tacoma here. This was way before they even, contacted me. I'm already using the switch panel, their, pot lights and all that, and I'm very pleased with it. So I'm just not showing you guys this to try to, help them make a sale. Even though I already know the product, how it works, I'm still going to give you guys the honest truth is that, this is a very well made product. It's nothing cheap, even all the wiring, all that, you could tell that they really spent the extra money to, make this product great and for all the people to enjoy. So since I already have this switch panel on the Tacoma, we're going to be installing the switch panel on the Sequoia instead. Yeah, stick around and we'll be going through the unboxing of this and how to install it. All right, let's open it up. All right, so right here it says mounting brackets at the bottom of the phone. Okay, cool. So on the very top, you have some Auxbeam stickers, and you have all these little stickers here that mounts onto your switch panels. So it looks like both of these are, yeah, just both the same. And you got light bars, so many different options here. So depending on what you want to use it. And then this is the pamphlet, the instruction manual if you choose to use it, or just use YouTube here. And then on the top here we have, let's just get this guy out of the way. This is your 60 amp breaker. And then in the compartment over here you have 2 of these switch panels. And then these little stickers will basically peel right off, and then you'll just take these little, square section and put it right inside these, spots right here. So you got 2 of those. And you also got 2 rubber covers if you want to make it waterproof and just help protect it from the weather and stuff. If you choose to mount this, on the exterior of, your vehicle or anywhere there. And also one thing I wasn't really clear about is that you guys are probably kind of confused as to why you need 2 switch panel right here. So in case if you are camping out somewhere, you're in the back camping, sleeping in the back, and you need to control the light, you could just control the light from the back of the vehicle, and instead of getting out or reaching over to the front. So that's one good option, to have 2 different switch panel. All right, so I just wanted to point that out and make it clear. And then also comes with these 2 mounting brackets that swivel, so it will, rotate accordingly to how you, want to set the switches. Some more hardware also come with the Allen key here, and some add-on fuse for hooking up the main module here later. and a little small Phillips head screwdriver. So yeah, it's well packaged. Some more hardware for the second switch here, and some more power connection to master switch power cable. All right, so this is the main module right here. This is where you're going to be running all your accessory to. So all your lights and paw lights, rock lights, whatever, all that goes into this module right here. Just open this up. Right here, you'll see some spare fuses. So you got a 30, 20, 10, and 5 right here. And right here, the cool thing about this is that it's already built in with the relays, so you don't have to run any extra relays. So basically, it's just a straight shot from your lights coming back into this module right here. So you got 30 amp, 20, 10, and 5. So this is all the positive and negative connection right here. So you got 1 through 8. And just keep in mind, the negative doesn't necessarily have to come up here. You could just ground your negative to your chassis anywhere that, where you have a proper ground. And this is your positive and negative going back to your battery. And then your 4-pin connector basically is just connecting to your 2 switches. And then the AC connection right here. So this wire will hook up to this that goes into your on ignition. So basically the way how Auxbeam wants you to hook this up is that the only way to get power on to your switches is if your ignition is on. So like I said, I did mount this on my Tacoma before, and I found a way how to turn it on without the ignition being on. So there's like an on and off switch that will, give it power whenever I choose to, instead of having the ignition giving it power. All right. So close that back up. And then inside here, you have 2 sets of cable to hook up your 2 switches. So these 2 switches over here, basically you got one 20-footer and then a 10-footer right here. So one will be going to the back of your truck or rig, and then the second one here is just going to your dashboard. So you got 2 locations you could choose to mount up these 2 switches. And power cable going to your main module over here. Some more mounting option here. And then zip ties. And then on the bottom of this is some more mounting bracket to mount your module over here. So yeah, they give you a couple options to mount the modules. So underneath the box, that's the mounting bracket right there. And that is it, guys. So we're going to be installing all this, so let's get to it. All right, so for this next step, there's 2 mounting options. So one, you could just use a flat mount that will basically go against, the side of your engine bay. So that'll be just a flat mount style. You use 2 bolt that, they provide the hardware, all that. You could use these hardware and, screw it in and just do a flat mount style. But in this case, I'm going to be using this type of mount. So basically, this will mount up like this. So it'll be at an angle. So it'll be facing flat down instead of, if I use this mount here, then it's going to be facing sideways like this. So yeah, you guys get the idea, right? So basically, I don't want it to face sideways because of the uh, way how the engine compartment is. It's better for me to mount it flat up like this. So I'll show you guys on where I'm going to be mounting this bracket here. All right, so this is a 2005 Toyota Sequoia. So this is the bracket that I'm going to be using to attach the module onto. And man, I kid you not, man, it's almost as if Auxbeam designed this exactly for the Sequoia, because you guys see these 2 pre-made holes that came from factory already. I did not make these holes, okay? These are the one that came from factory. And if you were to take this plate and just put it in there, man, that's a direct fit, guys. How awesome is that? I don't even have to drill any holes or make any attachment for the bracket here. It's already found its home right here. So that's where I'm going to be mounting it. All right, so using the two hardware bolt that came with the kit, these are the same thread pattern too, which is awesome. So I don't have to go dig up my bolt collection and try to find a bolt for this 10 millimeter hole right here. So these are fine thread. So yeah, let's get this mount screwed in and go to the next step here. All right, that is it. So let's mount the module on. So the module here has this slot that they cut out here so you can feed the cable through. So when we put it in here, there's still going to be a little spot for the cable to squeeze through. So just make sure that you're not mounting it to where you're blocking the slot here. So there's 3 sections right here on the mounting option. So we're going to be using the farthest one to push out the module further away from the firewall here. So that way we could still feed the cable through the slot there. So just use the hardware that comes with it. All right. So now we got the module all mounted up. We're just gonna have to, run all the lines and get it back into this unit here. Like I was mentioning, you see that little slot back there? Yeah, that's where the wire is gonna be coming through. So we're just gonna be feeding our positive and negative cable in. So just take these two, feed it through that slot. All right, so now you got the 2 power cable hooked up. Just make sure that you got enough slack. So make sure that there's enough slack to run to your battery here. So the negative, it could go directly to your battery, or it could go into the side of one of these chassis mount here. So depending on where you want to mount it. And then, so you still have this section that goes to it. So basically one end will connect to the breaker here, and it will take it to the positive on the battery, and the other end connect right here. So you can mount this switch wherever that's more convenient for you. So let's find a spot to mount this switch here, or this breaker, I mean. So the cable that Auxbeam provide us with is, there's nothing wrong with it, but the way how I got the breaker mounted all the way back here, the longest cable they provide us with is just not long enough to make it across, or at least to make it across clean where I'm going to be tucking it along the side. So the short one I'll be using, but the long one here, I'm going to be saving that for a different project. And luckily, I have this other cable here stashed up. So yeah, I found this from a previous project. So I'm going to be using this cable here to run it from the breaker back to the battery. All right, so I decided that the negative will be mounting up to the side of the chassis fender here. So this is where the horn is at, and I'm going to be piggybacking off that ground right there. So before I mount the ground on, I just got to grind this part down, make sure I get some good ground. I'm just using a little sand disc here, so that way it's not eating too much into the middle. All right, so far we got all the power cable ran. Power is going up to the battery right here. Negative is going up to this ground chassis right here. So yeah, let's hook up the rest of the cable.
All right, so got the wire plumbed through the firewall here. So we got the cable that goes to the switch, which is this black one, and then this is the main power that goes back inside the cab also. That's going to go inside one of the fuses. So we got two of these lines. Basically, I just take a coat hanger, stick it through the bushing here, the rubber grommet there, and then this is the coat hanger right here. So yeah, just feed this guy through, and then this will fish the wire through. Just make sure that you're not going into like any other cables where it's going to get kink inside there. So yeah, now let's finish routing that line into the switch panel inside the cab, and we'll run the fog lights cable back into the module here. All right, so the next step here will be basically finding a location for your switch. So this is the bracket option that I'm planning to go with, so that way you can swivel the switch. Um, the best spot I have found is just to mount it basically right there like that. So that way it'll be in the center. I can see it, my passenger can see it. And then I'm just gonna have to drill two holes, basically just to two holes like right there and right there to mount the switch right there. All right, so I got that switch all mounted up right here. It's actually turning out pretty good. The location is perfect, so I can still reach it within, arm's reach. And just basically drill a little hole in the back here. Let me see if I can pop it out for you guys. Drill a little hole in the back here, and then just run the cables on back. So got the rest of the core stashed up back here, and just close this up. I'm telling you, man, Sequoia and Auxbeam, they might have worked together in the past. They knew that all this was going to happen, so they purposely had it all set up already. So perfect spot right there. All right, so the next step is just basically to look for a fuse that is only hot when the ignition is on. So according to the Auxbeam manual instruction, that's the way how they want us to hook it up. So for this video's sake, I'm just gonna follow the direction and hook it up the way how Auxbeam advised us to. So it's gonna turn on the ignition, and you probably can't see it, but if you pop up your fuse panel, you're gonna see all type of different fuse, and depending on what type of car you got, I'm using the cigarette lighter fuse, which is a 15A. So if I was to put this onto the 15A, you see how the light lights up? That means that there's power when the ignition is on. And if I turn off the ignition, then there's no more power. So as soon as the ignition goes on, then power comes on, and that's how you get power to your switch panel. So let me just go ahead and use this little fuse adapter that Auxbeam provide us with and hook it up. All right, basically the way how you do this is you pull out the fuse that you're going to be plugging this adapter into. You take the fuse that you just pulled out and you plug it into this extra slot that is on the top of the fuse that came with. So just put that in, and then just stick this right back in where you took out the fuse. So as soon as you stick back in, you should be good. So if I put this probe in, you see the lights coming on, so that means that we're good to go. And just to give it one final test, let me turn off the ignition. There you go, see? And now all we gotta do is take the other end of this cable and then crimp it on, and we should be good for that part. All right, so to crimp it on, the two I'm using is actually this right here. And this is actually from Amazon, so I'll link a website on the description so you guys can go check it out if you guys choose to get it. So it's all color coded. So you got red, blue, and yellow. So depending on what size wire or connector you got. So we got the blue. We're gonna stick it on the blue and clip it in. Just make sure your wire is all the way in. Push it in as far as you can. And then just squeeze it until it stops, and then that should be it. So now it's nice and tight. Give it a couple poo. It's not coming out, so you're good to go. Just to give it a try, turn on the ignition. You see the lights coming on. That means that we're good. All right, so onto the fog lights. So these fog lights are also Auxbeam. These are the 4-inch Auxbeam pod lights, and I actually took these off from the Tacoma. It used to be mounted right here, so I just didn't really like the way how it was, you know, looking with the light bar. I mean, I think it was just too much. So originally I bought it to go down here, but then the 4-inch pod light was a little bit too big for this location, so I couldn't make it work. So I had to put it up here. And then now that the Sequoia, had the opportunity to mount it, so I decided to mount it down here. This is the wire that it comes with, so it's already been cut, as you can see. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna piggyback this one off from, the passenger to the driver, and then the driver here will run back towards the module. Just to give you guys a heads up, the light, when I purchased the light, it came with this wiring kit. So it does come with a switch and a relay and all that good stuff, and even the fuse, man. I mean, Auxbeam, they're really good on their quality of Kibo, and it came with all this, and it's sad that I couldn't use it because all this will pretty much just goes into my stash bin and use it for a future project if I ever need it. So yeah, I just didn't need all this. So basically, when you order the light, you'll just take all this and either throw it away or put it somewhere where you could reuse it later down the road, because you're not going to need this, because all this wiring is just going to go straight into your module. So this black one indicate a positive that goes into terminal 3 for the positive side. So as you can see, terminal 3 for the positive side, because I didn't want to utilize the 30 amp. I wanted to save that for something else. So the way how these are separated, you got 1 and 2 into 30 amp, and then 3 and 4 goes into 20, and then so on and so on until you get to 5 amps. So I'm using the 20 amp for the 2 front fog lights. So that just goes directly all the way down along the side here, and then back into the fog light. And then for the ground, I'm just using the ground right here to hook up the fog light ground. As you can see, the little pink connection down here. This is going to be for the future project if I decide to hook up the second switch to the back of the Sequoia, just to have the second switch in the back somewhere where I can control the lights. As of now, I don't have any need for it because I only got the 2 front fog lights, so it's nothing, you know, too crazy going on. So as of now, I'm just gonna put these aside. So let's go ahead, turn that on. As you can see, the little red light, that means that it's on. Guys, so this is pretty much towards the end of the video here, and thank you for sticking around to watch the whole install video. So Auxbeam, definitely a product that I will recommend. I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's a company that sent me this product. I'm saying this because I used it prior to them even reaching out to me. Like I say, I already installed it on my Tacoma. My Tacoma already had the switch panel, and I'm very pleased with it. And just for them to reach out to me, that's even a plus. So thank you, Auxbeam, for giving me this opportunity. And if you guys haven't already, then go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description so that way you can see exactly which switch panel this is. All right, guys. So once again, thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing. All right. Take care.